cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1604 today. I'm Mike Matthews on a Monday. I got up late. I've been running behind all morning. Don't you love that when you're running behind all day? When you get caught up, you never get caught up. You just keep going, and finally at some point you're like, I think I've reached a finish line. I'm not sure.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
On Friday, someone told me that I see at Fairmont Ridge all the time, Mike is his name because our parents are really original.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Mike said, hey, you got to, I gave you another like of your Facebook page. And I said, thank you. I'm not full of rage. And he said, I gave you 131 likes now. But I look at my thing and I said, how is he calculating that? Because I still only 130. But oh well.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I don't care. It's not a game. I'm not into games.
Mike's
I don't like board games.
Daily
Video games.
Podcast.
Sports, professional sports games.
Yeah.
I guess I'm competitive in some ways, but yeah, I mean, it's basically. What's this? Somebody reacted to a picture when I had Irene Pena on eons ago. That was at the beginning of the year. And there's all these people that have chimed in on this old click it. Don't you hate clicking? Clicking, and somebody walked in just now and nothing that I have is working correctly. It's one of those days.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. You are full of rage.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Mike Matthews, who's that?
I don't know. But look who else walked in. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And it's John Deere, the engineer of Smashing Pumpkins, sang that particular song. Thank you, John Deere. Yes. I saw Depeche Mode tribute band to them on Friday with a bunch of my friends, including Stormy Phoenix, not Stormy Daniels, Stormy Phoenix, who I've mentioned on the show before. She's been on the show. And my friend Sylvia, who is...
And here's today's podcast picture.
One of my few podcast listeners. I saw a couple of my podcast listeners this weekend. I also saw a friend of mine who's telling me they lost their pride. Said, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, baby, baby, baby. Tom Petty. The podcast picture today is of Basil the boxer looking out over the bay yesterday. I saw Sylvia at the Depeche Mode concert we went to, and they were okay. The backup, I get a little mad when a band is just playing to backup tracks. They're singing. They were actually singing. I could see they were singing and sweating and putting a show on, and that was good. But the backup track thing gets a little annoying. And after a while, I'm like, I don't think I am the biggest Depeche Mode fan. I think I like their later stuff. I wasn't the biggest fan of all that ick at the beginning. I remember I wasn't that big of a fan of some of the early stuff, but some of it I like. At any rate, I probably won't go see them again. There was a New Order tribute band before that was good. It was a 3-piece. There was a woman on keyboards. It was a 4-piece. There was a guy on drums, actually playing drums. There was no drum. There was no drummer for the Depeche Mode tribute band, which I guess is what they used to do back in the early 80s. They were like they were drummerless. But there was a lead singer playing guitar, and I think they had another guitarist. I'm trying to remember. It's one of those nights where you go to San Francisco for 2 hours and then you leave. I'm not used to that. When I go to San Francisco, I stay for like 5 hours at least. I don't get in, get out. I know a lot of people do in their work and their commute. Then on Saturday, I saw a friend of mine and we went to the It's called the Hayward Regional Shoreline. If you take Winton and Hayward all the way to the bay, there's this beautiful, huge park, just expanses of land East Bay Regional Park District manages. And I had Basil the Boxer with us, and it was a beautiful day. And then before that, I had some ramen at this place called Eon Coffee, which there is a flyer for this show on their corkboard that has been there. The same flyer has been there for at least 5 years. It's insane.
Oh, my.
Got to be kidding me.
It's so crazy. It's the same one. And I expect all the college kids from Chabot College to rip it off and put up, hey, I need a roommate or something. But, do you need tutoring? But they don't. They keep it up there. So somehow I'm getting this publicity at Eon Coffee. Thank you. But I still had to pay for my lunch, which was a delicious ramen. The owner goes to China and gets these ramen recipes, and they make it there only on the weekend, which I'm usually working at my stupid part-time job where I get ridiculous emails. But I got instead ramen yesterday. Oh, Saturday and yesterday. Which my point is that Sunday ended up being a Groundhog Day of Saturday. Because I did the exact same thing, except I got a different ramen at Eon Coffee, and then I went back to Hayward Regional Shoreline without my friend, so that was a little sad. But it was with wind. There was a lot of wind that day, and I got this awesome picture of Basil walking into the bay. He didn't get to walk into the bay on Saturday because the tide was low, and there's all this muck that comes up because the water has retreated, and what's underneath the water is dead ocean life and just stinky. And with the tide up, he can walk into it. He's okay. The water's flowing. So that's a picture of Basil from yesterday. We had a great time. And then I went home and I did a little barbecue just before the rain came. I have a grill and a gas grill, and I haven't used it all year. And it was nice. But it was raining. I know Saturday was a summer day in the Bay Area. People were partying. It was great. My point is that I did talk to another friend of mine this weekend who used to be involved with a school that is run by a pastor that we actually carry a show on the religious station I work for. He has a college, and she went to this college. Well, after she graduated from the college, this was like 10 or so years ago, she starts to go, I don't think I believe everything this guy was teaching us. And she started having her own line of thinking about religion and the Word of God. Her own interpretation, which my point of view is, it says right there in Genesis, God created man in his own image, which, humans, in his own image. And God is a creator and a thinker, so why can't we be creators and thinkers? And I think it's insulting to God if we don't use our brains, if you believe in said religion. So she has her own line of thinking. Well, someone that she knew very well in the school recently got excommunicated because, okay, you have your Trinity, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and they're all supposed to be of one. They're all supposed to be God. Well, he said, with all these years of teaching about Jesus, why can't Jesus actually be his own thing? Kind of his own. He's still of God, but he's God's son. Why do we never put the... So he made some really semantic, just this really hairline sort of, this is what I think. And they go, nope, get the hell out of here. They said, don't let the door slam your butt on the way out. I'm looking for my large door sound effect. I can never find my large door sound effect. There it is. So that was very interesting, that conversation. And she's had to deal with other excommunication type crap in her world, in her life over the several years that she has been on this planet. Her father is a pastor. So we had a very interesting discussion about religion and whatnot. I think I have one other thought I would like to throw out, and that is my work. It's a radio station. Radio stations, when you walk in, are cold because we got a lot of equipment in the room that I'm in typically at work, I got 3 computers surrounding me, 3 computer screens. I've got a board in front of me with the little sliders that go up and down. Not the sliders that you eat and go, this is delicious, I'll have 12 more. No, I'm talking about the volume control sort of deals that you see at clubs and whatnot. And, there's all this heat being radiated, so you got to keep the temperature low, otherwise stuff overheats, wears down faster. That's how radio stations work. Well, this company that I work for has hired a bunch of people who've never been in radio before. And whenever they walk into one of the studios, they go, oh my God, it's so cold. Oh no. Oh, I can't take this. Oh, it's so cold. And the simple answer to that is bring a coat, bring a sweater. It's simple. You just put the sweater on when you come back. It's like if you worked in a restaurant and you have to go into the deep freeze, you got to put on a coat. It's too cold. Or get in and get out. It's when you go to Costco and you go into the produce section where they got all this delicious spinach that you got to eat a lot of spinach every day and get your folates and your greens and whatnot and get your cooter. You've got to, Roscoe P. Coltrane, you've got to wear your jacket when you go into that deep freeze at Costco. You're not going to tell Costco, oh, it's so cold, you got to turn the temperature up in here. No, that'd be crazy.
Is you blind?
You don't want to be crazy. You don't want to have someone yelling at you, are you out of your mind? Or going,
What is this?
Or saying, are you out of your mind? What can't I find? Are you going out of your mind? Where is that? Instead, I got this.
WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks.
Very funny.
I think we're done with that rant. I just get, things have to be cool. We have to have temperature control about some things in this world. That's all I'm saying. Tomorrow comes the tax man. Yeah. And that's exciting. All right, really quick. We don't have much time. We're pressed for time. We got to go and jump through. This really bothers me. I can't find the "Are you out of your mind" thing. Someone deleted it from my sound effects. Oh well, that happens when you work somewhere in a cafe anyway. By the way, we're going to start a new 300-part series podcast called the Cafe Anyway Chronicles.
Are you out of your mind?
Oh, thank you. I feel so much better. Oh, I was OCD about that.
Are you out of your mind?
No, we're not going to do that. So many podcasts I listen to. Be listening to our other series that we do where we have, they all want to be Serial, that show that did really well for This American Life, which bored the hell out of me. Hey, Trump lawyer Michael Cohen blocked a 2013 magazine story on Donald Trump Jr.'s affair with the lovely Aubrey O'Day. Oh, hey. Trump's embattled fixer Michael Cohen reportedly spiked a U.S. Weekly story. And there's a lot of that sort of thing going on with the tabloids buying up stories that, would have important information about affairs and whatnot, and they buy it up and then they bury it. And that's tabloids get a bunch of money for that. Barbara Bush is not doing well. She's in failing health, and she won't seek additional medical treatment. So that is very sad. She's 92. She's lived a long life. She's been in the public eye for a long time, but unfortunately, she has been treated for decades for Graves' disease, which is a thyroid condition. Had heart surgery in 2009 for a severe narrowing of her main heart valve and was hospitalized the year before that for surgery on a perforated ulcer. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Emmanuel Macron, the French president, apparently says he convinced Trump to stay in Syria. In an interview, James Comey calls Trump morally unfit and a stain on all around him.
It makes me mildly nauseous.
If the That was when ABC News aired an interview with Mr. Comey, the president's fired FBI director, as he uses a publicity blitz for his searing tell-all memoir, Higher Loyalty, to raise the alarm about the dangers he says Mr. Trump poses to the country. You've probably heard all about that lately, and that some people, the conservatives, are like, they're not really saying anything. He's not really saying anything. Our president must embody respect and adhere to the values that are at the core of this country, he told ABC's George Stephanopoulos on 2020. The most important thing being true, this president is not able to do that. He is morally unfit to be president. There you go. That's what's going on in the world. I hope I don't have a lot of rage today. I hope it's, I hope I'm raging. Hope I'm a raging Cajun today. And that was my little... That's as, I guess, Cajun as I get. Thank you, France. How does she sing that? It's amazing. Next show, it's going to be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Thanks for listening to the show. Hope you had a great weekend.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!